Welcome to the Brian Wright Show audio experience, a podcast dedicated to transforming lives, careers, and businesses. And now your host. He's a husband, father of two, an international business and life coach, the founder and CEO of New Patient Group and Right Chat, and a consultant and global speaker for some of the finest companies in the world, such as Invisalign and many others. Now, here's your host, Brian Wright.
Hey, everybody. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. Brian Wright here, and welcome in to another edition of the Brian Wright Show podcast. Hope everybody is doing great out there, and the one and really only one job of a really great, exceptional marketing company is what we're going to be talking about on today's show. There is a lot of misconception, and I see it in our niche in orthodontics and dentistry, and also with companies and businesses that we help outside, restaurants, hotels, list goes on and on. I see a common theme. It tends to be a little worse inside our niche than it does outside the niche. But there is a common theme of a very big misunderstanding that a lot of you have got to get over this, and you have got to fully grasp what I'm talking about today on what makes a really good marketing company really good. And so many of you, and unfortunately, and this will also be a way for all of you to be able to differentiate between a marketing company that actually knows what the hell they're doing versus ones out there that they don't get, even though they're a marketing company and they do, or at least they should do what I'm talking about today. They don't get it. And I see this time and time and time again. It also goes into the marketing you do will or will not drive the customers you want. One of the things that all of you have to do, whether it's a business that you're just starting, a practice that you're just starting, or whether you've been around forever, some of you that have been around for a long time still have never identified what type of customer, what type of patient that you actually want. And I always use, no matter what audience I'm speaking in front of it, if it's in our niche in ortho and dentistry and other healthcare specialties, if you will, whether it's in front of them or it's in front of an entrepreneur audience or whatever it may be, I always use the hotel analogy of the Best Western, the JW Marriott, and the Ritz-Carlton. Now, there's obviously a lot more hotel names that I could use, but those three are worldly known, and everybody can relate back to whenever I try to make the analogy of the discussion topic of what type of business do you want to be? Do you want to be the highest of high end to where if somebody's calling around 5 places, do you want to be the most expensive and do that on purpose? Right? Or do you want to be the Best Western, and do you want to be more of a quantity play, right? Which means that your prices are going to be far lower and the experiences that you put into your business need to be very different than if you're going to be the most expensive hotel, the most expensive plumber, the most expensive lawyer, the most expensive Invisalign practice in our niche out there. And you have to, or do you want to be somewhere in between, right? That's where the JW comes in as that analogy, the 3 hotel example. You've got to look at yourself and understand, who are you trying to be? And each one of those levels is a completely different business model. And unfortunately, most marketing companies don't even take the time to sit there. And this is how one of the ways we're going to discuss today, how you know a marketing company actually knows what the hell they're doing, is if you're searching everybody out there for a digital marketing company and they don't ask you during the sales process and the onboarding process, what type of business are you? What type of practice are you? Like, well, let's use our niche. Like, let's use an orthodontic practice as an example. You've got orthodontic practice, and again, using the Best Western, the JW, or the Ritz-Carlton. Most practices, most businesses that are attracted to the message that I deliver on this podcast and what we do as an employee and patient customer experience company, we teach you all how to be the highest of high end, how to charge the highest prices you possibly can, increase your conversion, and convert at the highest levels you possibly can, right? All while charging more than all the other opinions. That's more of the Ritz-Carlton montage and other ones that I talk about on here model. Now, the reason we teach that and the reason why a lot of people are attracted to that is well, I guess not the reason we teach it, but what we teach is going to help businesses like that. Either you're already the highest price and you want to charge more, you're already the highest price, you just want to convert more, right? Or you're a practice that may be a Best Western, or a business, a restaurant that may be a Best Western today, but you want to strive to be the Ritz-Carlton, right? You're ready to take that journey. That's what we do for people. All right. That's what we do for people. Now, part of what we do for people is obviously the coaching, with many of you know. The other part is the digital marketing. So, and the reason I have a point to all this on how you know the company knows what the hell they're doing or they don't is that when we're in the sales process and we're talking to people, we identify that. Because if they are the Best Western and you don't want to be any, you could be a hotel, a doctor, a restaurant owner, doesn't matter. If you want to be a low price, high quantity play, I am proud to say we are not the company for you. We are not the message for you. That's not the type business model I want you to run. That's not the type business model that we help. But it doesn't mean it's not the right business model. Okay. Their Best Western makes a lot of money. There's a lot of practices, businesses, restaurants that are lower end, lower price that make a lot of money. It's just not what I believe in. It's not what we teach. It's not what our messaging is. It's not the customer we want. I'm bringing all this up though is that we are willing to say, hey, look, doc, if you want to be that low price, Best Western type model, we're not the marketing company or the coaching company for you. And we do that because that saves our reputation, and it also saves their business reputation. And that's why we never have bad marriages from a customer standpoint. It's very rare. But the point is, doing that during the onboarding process is that the marketing we're going to do for people, the digital marketing that we're going to do for people, is going to showcase that you're high end. It's going to showcase and build your value proposition. It's never going to talk about price. It's never going to talk about discount ads. We don't do that stuff. And we don't do that stuff because if somebody says, hey, Brian, I want to be the highest priced in town, regardless of your business. But again, going back using our niche as an example, I want to be the highest price orthodontic practice in town, and I want to make Invisalign or whatever else I do from a treatment modality standpoint. I want to be at least $1,000 to $2,000 to $3,000 more than any other opinion that they're going to get. Okay, we say, all right, great. Because the marketing we're going to do is going to showcase that. It's going to drive a certain type of new patient phone call coming into your practice. It's going to drive a certain type of potential patient coming into your practice. No different than when we do digital marketing for restaurants out there. It's the same thing. It's that we are teaching you how to raise your prices. We are teaching you how to sell more while raising your prices. And part of that is making sure the digital marketing is attracting the right type of buyer that wants to have higher end food and spend more for it and receive an amazing experience along the customer experience journey. Right? You see how that works. A marketing company's job is not to get you phone calls. It's not to, because I see this all the time. Well, I'm using a marketing company and they think they're doing great because, they show us the data every month and, we've got whatever, a 30% increase in incoming new patient calls, a 30% increase in incoming calls to our restaurant, our plumbing, our law firm, whatever. And I look at that and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with these people? Like, going back to the hotel analogies, again, it's easy for everybody to understand. If the Best Western was receiving inquiries over the phone from Ritz-Carlton type consumers, they'd go out of business. They wouldn't convert it. If the Ritz-Carlton was receiving incoming inbound calls with people inquiring about a room from Best Western people that want to spend a low price and don't want the experience or can't afford the experience, the Ritz-Carlton would go out of business. See, guys, a great marketing company understands your vision. A lot of times they even help you build it like we do, if you need that. A great marketing company understands what content do we have to create inside the doors of a given business to showcase it on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's going to attract the right consumer for the business model that you want to run. And see, so many of you out there, you don't even think of this stuff. Like it's not even, you're thinking, okay, well, how many new patients can I get? How many new customers can I get? Right? What's the cheapest marketing, dollar that I can afford? And you hire these crap companies that on paper look cheaper, but they're cheaper for a reason. They drive crap results and they think that their job is to get you more inbound calls. That is not the job of great marketing companies. Great marketing companies are to showcase your value proposition online in a very unique way to drive consumers via online reservation scheduling, inbound phone call, live web chat, whatever it may be. Drive consumers to get to schedule an appointment with you, reservation with you, whatever it may be, that fit the business model that you're trying to run. That's a sign of a great marketing company. There's other signs, of course. They're not posting. It's like what with us with our digital marketing. And it's amazing, all these years have gone by and our coaching program is literally famous. Like we make businesses in and out of our niche millions upon millions of dollars with what we do with our coaching program. It's proven, it's famous, it's got the biggest name entrepreneurs on the planet. It is incredible. But a lot of people, whether they listen to this podcast or not, don't know that we do digital marketing. And we do digital marketing because it's part of the customer experience journey, but it's also part of the overall experience and how brands are represented. And brands cannot be represented. As an example, the Best Western, one of their value propositions is it is cheap, right? But if you're trying to be the most expensive Invisalign practice in town, the most expensive Italian restaurant in town, the most expensive steakhouse in town, the most expensive hotel in town, a cheap price is not your value proposition. Right? So how you showcase things makes a huge difference. If you're a cheap Italian restaurant, how you showcase your food online, is it important? Sure, it's important, but it's far less important than if you're the most expensive Italian restaurant in town. That becomes mandatory, right? If your YouTube station is empty for whatever business you are out there and you're cheap, not a big deal, right? If you're the most expensive, you better have YouTube content out the wazoo around your technology, your hospitality, your experience, your customer service, your team member bios, how you source the food, where you went to clinic, where you went to ortho school. You see, it's all the same. Like, it's one of the reasons why we rebranded this podcast. Like there are so many things from a 5-star hotel that you could put right into an orthodontic practice, and your orthos out there listening, you would kick everybody's ass. Right? The challenge is getting your mind to think that way. The challenge is stop going to these inside your bubble only experience they've ever had inside your bubble consultants or marketing companies. Stop it, everybody. Or a doctor owns the marketing company, so automatically they blow up, even though they suck. Stop it. Showcase your brand in an extremely unique way if you want to be the most expensive. Right? Then obviously you've got, this is why it's hard, it works in harmony. All of you need to understand this. If you're going to do marketing and you're going to attract price shoppers, as an example, then boom, your receptionist better be trained on how to handle price increase and overcome it with value and convert. If you don't, you're pissing your marketing dollars down the drain because you're receiving incoming calls all day. Your receptionist doesn't convert, doesn't tell you, and you're missing all kinds of opportunities. This is another reason why crappy marketing companies hand you a data sheet and go, well, we did our job. We got you 40 extra new patient calls this month. Meanwhile, you converted 2 of them because they don't fit your model. They're sending you price shoppers, people that, want to shop on price, want something cheap, and you're trying to be the Ritz-Carlton, or the other way around. Great marketing companies, everybody, understand your business model, understand your vision. They understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to sell more Invisalign, as an example, and at a higher price. That's a different marketing strategy than somebody that wants to sell maybe an off-brand, as an example, at a far cheaper price. Those are different marketing strategies. Hey, everybody, Brian Wright of The Brian Wright Show. Let's step away from today's podcast. Hope you're enjoying it. Remember that messaging we're talking about. A great marketing company is not one that gets you a bunch of calls. A great marketing company is ones that are targeting the consumers that are going to be attracted to the business type you are. high level, low level, high price, mid price, low price, that kind of thing. So stop judging it on how many am I getting and start judging on how many am I converting. But that is a big message today. But I want to talk about our MPG Iconic. You've heard it if you're an avid podcast listener of ours. You've heard this theme going on now, and we're running out of seats. We don't have a lot left, and it's going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. And I want you to come celebrate my birthday that weekend with me. And we're going to be talking about digital marketing there. It's going to be a big theme. It's not the reason Iconic exists, and it's not going to be the only thing. We're going to be talking about hospitality, leadership, sales, customer experiences, employee experiences, and also how to use real life skill sets. How do we transform the mindset of your employees in their personal lives so they show up ready to work at a higher level, ready to offer a unique experience? Changing the mindset of the employees on how they advance their career forward, right? How do they get pay raises? How do they offer more value to the business so they go through the ranks, make more money, right? And that way they're advancing their careers, they're also advancing their lives. And as those two things happen, you as a business owner win as well. Your life tends to be better because your business is better. And so there's going to be some real life career and business skill sets talked around that theme of customer employee experiences. It's going to be fantastic. And this is unlike any other in the industry in our niche. And we've also started to receive some really cool feedback from restaurants and hotels and people outside our niche that are starting to get interested in Iconic. And it's really cool. We're very excited about it. But this event, guys, is so different than what you're used to. And I want to personally invite you and your team. You can pay in full for this event. It's on our website. You can finance it if you need a little bit more of a break and extend it out. So bring that into low monthly payments for you. Whatever you want, we're going to be open, we're going to be flexible, and we're going to make this affordable for you and your team. And we really look forward to seeing you at an event that is absolutely transformational. And once you come, all the other events with huge crowds and all these speakers that spend no time role playing with you, no personal attention, no real expertise that goes back to your practice to get implemented, you're never going to go to those events again. This is something new and exciting. We want to see you there, and we hope we do. We'll put the link to the description of Iconic and where you can register below, and we hope to see you there. Now, let's get back to today's episode. You have got to use marketing and content to create organic content to spread across the channels in a way that showcases what you are inside your doors. I love it. Another piece, not to get on a tangent on this because I could easily do it, is I love this. Well, online, we're going to showcase that we're the Ritz-Carlton, right? And we have high prices. And that's obviously not what you say online. You don't say, hey, we have high prices, but it's assumed through the type marketing you're doing, right? I love it when people then show up to the business and it looked like it came out of the 80s. The carpet, cabinets, all this. This is why all of you, I don't know when I do this podcast today, we haven't yet released the podcast around customer experience, the misunderstandings, the psychological definition. So I don't know if this is coming before or after. So in that podcast, it talks about customer experience being the consumption process of all touch points before and after sale. And it dives very heavily into it. And there's a lot of misconceptions around it. People throw that terminology around when they don't even know what the hell it means. Guys, this is, if you do marketing, it's one piece of the journey. You've got to train on the phones to convert the marketing, right? You've got to have the ambiance whenever they show up that matches the marketing you're doing. Right? You can't come across as high end and then walk in and your place looks like a piece of crap. I see this with restaurants all the time. And it's like they wonder why, well, we can't get anybody through the door. Well, yeah, no kidding. Because your place looks like crap, the waiters aren't trained on sales, your 5-star reviews suck, your ambiance sucks, your food's not that good, and yet you think advertising is your problem. It's mind-boggling, but it goes back to everything inside your doors, guys. That's a reflection, that's you looking in the mirror. And there's not many people that can do that. We as humans are not designed to look in the mirror. We're designed, especially in today's society, to blame other people. So whatever marketing company you're going to use, if they're not diving into what type of business model you are, your price points, guys, they suck. That means they're just a templated standard messaging They don't study consumer data, which is a whole nother, I'm not getting into that. But that's the other thing is you better be using digital marketing companies that are experts in consumers, not food, not orthodontics, not Invisalign, but consumers. And that's what we are. But the point is not us. The point is whoever you're using, they need to reflect your brand in the way that it already is, or the way or in the what you want to become. They've got to market in a way and put content out in a way that reflects that you're the highest priced, reflects that you're middle of the ground, JW Marriott, reflects that you're bottom of the barrel, Best Western. And honestly, and as I said, the Best Western is a great business model. I don't believe in it. It's not our messaging, but the Best Western's a great business model, guys. It makes a lot of money, been around a long time, right? There's consumers for that model. There's consumers for lower priced airlines. There's consumers for lower priced restaurants, et cetera. It's not a bad model. That's not what we teach. Like we, I don't want to say we would hurt them, because I think no matter what your price point is, people want to be treated nice. But make no mistake about it, our teachings don't help low priced, high quantity businesses, because the high quantity that you have to have with that model, you don't have the time to do what we teach, and how to greet people, and the digital workflow in our niche, and the doctor exams, and the TC exams, and pending treatment, and hubs, and the marketing, and the culture building, and the salesmanship for everybody in your office, your assistants included. You don't have time to work on those because you need to see so many people. It's chaos. And don't forget, part of your business model, if you're wondering why you're chaotic, what's your business model? I mean, it keeps going back to, it drives me nuts. Like, you do analog braces out there, right? And then you wonder why you're chaotic all the time. Well, it's your treatment modality. Requires a big team, high influx. Like, it's just, but a lot of you don't see it. But back to the marketing stuff. You can imagine, and guys, this is how you have to think. It's the reason why we rebranded this podcast, because this is exactly what I would teach exactly what we teach when working with a restaurant. Okay. Envision who you want to be. Okay. So let's say you're a steakhouse. You're envisioning a beautiful ambiance, right? Just impeccable service from A to Z. Waiters that can truly sell. So tables are buying the bottle of wine, not the glass. They're buying the specials for the evening instead of the on-menu items. They're buying desserts instead of not buying desserts, that kind of thing. But they feel damn good in the process of doing it. They feel good spending more, which is a big part of what we teach too, right? How do you get people to spend as much money as possible with you and feel really damn good about it? And they go tell a bunch of people, right? That's what we do. And all the messaging that we teach goes into that. So if you have that vision, that's who you believe you are, and you always know that there's another level to get to, or it's who you want to become. If you look at the marketing you're doing, it's incredibly important to have a nice YouTube station built out with the chef and the bios of the waiters and welcome videos and things like that going out. And, if you've got an upcoming, new special that you're going to launch, how you source the food and what the special is, like, you've got to use video marketing. People want that. And there's not many restaurants that do it. Just like in our niche, there's not many orthodontic dental practices that do it. Does it take work? Yeah. But if you want to be that high end place, the digital marketing experience has to come across high end. Would that hurt a cheap restaurant or a cheap orthodontic practice? No. But because you have such high influx and high quantity, you're likely not going to have the time to be able to commit to doing the content. If you're higher end and you can see less, sell more at a higher price, you now have opened up your time to be able to work on your business and move it forward tomorrow, instead of being stuck in the orthodontic practice, stuck in the restaurant, stuck in the hotel all day, just trying to keep it alive today. That's the difference. The marketing company that you work with, whoever it is, has to know your vision. They have to do things online that represent the brand you are or want to become, period. And many of you do not think this way. Like, they can't put template posts up. They can if you're a cheapie. If you want to be the cheapest Invisalign practice in town, is it important to have personalized content? Of course it's not. It's still going to help you, but of course it's not. But if you're JW or above, which again, that's who we work with, either because you're already there or you want to be there. The content has to be personalized. It's got to be unique. It's got to be organic. It's got to be created from within your office. There can be no template posts. YouTube's got to be full and blossoming all the time. All the content online. You've got to use digital marketing very much to educate your patient, your customer, right? They bought Invisalign. We have 4 or 5 weeks of downtime. Let's drip videos from our YouTube station there that teach the do's and don'ts, how to put them on, how to get them ready. So your start appointment shrinks 10 or 15 minutes. I talked about that in the customer experience podcast that I don't know if it's live yet or not based on when I do this podcast today. Same thing. You've got to be more innovative with your digital marketing. You've got to come up and showcase again your unique value proposition, right? Why, when I look at your menu online as a restaurant, do you charge twice as much for a pasta dish? Why should I spend more? And it goes way beyond how it tastes. Just like for doctors out there in our niche, it goes way beyond how your clinical skills are if you want to charge more. Drives me nuts, these speakers in the industry. Well, the data says you should be raising your prices. Right? So you raise your prices, your conversion goes to hell because when you raise your prices, your value has to go up. Your team has to be trained on how to sell better. Like there's all kinds of intangibles, no different than if some speaker in the restaurant industry gets up and goes, well, you should raise your pasta prices, right? And blindly, because they don't understand what that comes with. And therefore the pasta dish sales go down the toilet. Why? Because when you increase prices, you have to increase the value. You have to increase experiences, how people sell. Your culture's got to be better. That's how business works, period. And your marketing company better damn well be reflecting these things with the content they do for you. If you have a marketing company that thinks their job is to get you a bunch of calls, they're crap, everybody. Stop it. Stop using that stuff. I think all of you would agree that you're better off getting, and this, by the way, is part of what makes a great mind. This is what we would do. This is what we believe in right here. We would rather get you 10 new patients or 10 new customers to your hotel, as an example, and have you convert 8 of those into a paying customer, into a paying patient, than get you 3,000 calls where you convert 6. Because all the 3,000 does is mean your front desk is going to be more chaotic, right? It's more chaos for less money. It's how much money can you make in the fewest amount of calls kind of thing. Because if we're sending you the right people, you're going to convert at a higher level. If you also train your people, you're going to convert at even a higher level than that. If we're sending you hundreds of calls of the wrong people, your conversion's going to suck. And it's going to suck even if you get people trained on how to convert. Will it make it better? Of course it will, but it's still going to be low. Just like the hotel analogy. If your marketing company is driving Ritz-Carlton consumers to the Best Western, the conversion will suck even though they're cheap. This is why so many of you make a mistake by lowering your prices, or doing discount ads online. This is going to be some upcoming podcasts because I've been on a little bit of a digital marketing kick in my head lately for a bunch of reasons. One, a lot of people don't even know we do it. And we do it at an incredibly high level and a very unique level, innovative level. But also, I see this when the economy's bad or a business is struggling or when you want to grow, you think you have to discount things or you're in a commodity and you've got a tons of air quotes competition, even though that's not your competition. You and your team are, but you still think it's competition. So what you do is you default to, we got to lower our prices. That's the opposite of what you should do. You should always be more expensive than everybody else. But then you should have a culture, digital marketing, and a team that's trained how to convert it at a higher price. That's what you should do. And that's why we do marketing and coaching under one roof. The two do not exist separately, period. You guys cannot be doing pay-per-click ads without trained receptionists on how to convert. It drives me nuts that people don't see this, but they do it all the time in every industry, our niche, orthodontics, dentistry, beyond. Like, it's really bad. But this is why... And then you wonder why you're getting crappy patients call you. Well, it's because of the marketing you're doing. That right there is going to be another pod. I'm not going to get into a tangent on that, but you're the one that's causing it. You and your marketing team are causing it. Guys, true great marketing companies either help you build a vision or they understand your vision. They understand your price points. They understand your products. They understand the consumer that you are trying to reach. They understand the psychology of that consumer. They understand what to post, when to post, how to post, why to post. No different than psychology training for your team inside your doors teaches them what to say, when to say, how to say, why to say, because it all has an impact on sale. And it has an impact on sale at what price you can sell it for. The marketing company you use, everybody, needs to represent the brand you are or want to become, and it needs to drive you calls from people that are willing to spend high dollar if that's what they want. And if again, you're high quantity, low price, you need to use another. Don't use us. Do not use us as your digital marketing company if you want to be cheap and high quantity. All right. We're not going to do a good job for you. And I'm proud to say it. And I wish more marketing companies would say it, because we are not going to drive you crap. Or we're not, and I don't want to say crap just because someone's looking for a cheap price doesn't make them crap. But you know what I mean? It's crap in terms of it's not going to fit your business model and you're not going to convert them. Stop looking at the numbers thinking a marketing company's job is to get you all these calls. It's not. It's to represent your brand in a very unique way, to showcase your value proposition, and to drive consumers to your business via online reservation, website chat, pick up the phone, call you, whatever it may be, that you want that Ritz-Carlton consumer high-end Invisalign practice analogy. Don't forget this, everybody. A good marketing company is not, we got you a bunch of calls. Right? That's not what a good marketing company is. You shouldn't even ask them, well, how many calls are you going to get me? Which a lot of you do. We've been asked that question. Like, I don't know. Any company that tells you that, they're lying to you. My goal is to get you calls, and our goal as New Patient Group is to get you calls from people that are attracted to the brand that you want to be or want to become. That's a great marketing company. I hope everybody takes this to heart, because the marketing companies out there that are posting template crap, template websites, these template posts online, it's not personalized. They don't know your vision. They don't know your brand. They don't even know how to take you from maybe you're, like I said, maybe you're a Best Western today, but you want to be a JW Marriott and eventually a Ritz. You want to take that journey, right? They don't pay any attention to that, and they don't know how to do it. Rethink what a great marketing company is, everybody. And we would love to be that marketing company for you, as you all know. But that's not the point today. The point is that is a sign of a great marketing company. And if they're not doing that, you need to switch, regardless of the industry, whether it's our niche or not. You need to switch to a company that's going to represent your brand and attract the consumer that you want to attract. And this is how you will have a higher conversion at a higher price. This is how you won't be as chaotic, because you won't need a trillion patients, a trillion customers to make good money, right? Rethink your mindset on what a good marketing company is and what your marketing strategy is. Because if you want to be high end, you better be representing your brand that way online. Otherwise, you're going to drive Best Western calls and you're going to think that you can't charge high prices when you can, but you need to reach the people that are willing to pay for a better service, better experience, better product, whatever it may be. All right. As always, thumb this video up if you're watching on YouTube. Hey there, make some comments, share with friends, family, colleagues, anybody looking to transform life, career, and or business. And also, if you're listening on the audio experience channels, again, I've said it in the last couple of podcasts, I believe we're up to 127 countries where there's downloads in. So that is amazing. Shout out to all of you and audio experience listeners. Make sure to write a 5-star review on iTunes, wherever you're listening to this on. And again, share this with friends and family. And we will look forward to seeing everybody on the next episode of The Brian Wright Show. Bye-bye.